Welcome to the Squared Circle Jerks podcast. I'm here with Byron.
I prefer to be known as the player formerly known as Mouse Cop.
I'm fine with this.
Or Bodie McBoatface.
So Bodie McBoatface and I have just finished watching the Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling show. Way too late, obviously. We're like 2 weeks behind schedule. But hey, we said we would review it, and we're going to review it. We've also got the Greatest Royal Rumble here, our typical 205 Live and NXT stuff, and we'll poke some things at the SmackDown and Raw if we feel the need to do so.
Maybe.
Just let me expand my notes here a little bit. Thank you. Okay.
You kids and your notes.
So 205 Live was one giant gauntlet match, and that was it. What'd you think of the match, sir?
It was pretty good up until the final match, which they threw it in the toilet and then peed on it and then set it on fire.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty good with this. I thought Ali and TJP was a good start. Ali versus Gulak was very good. I thought Nice versus Gulak was very good. Didn't so much like how Gulak eliminated Nice. It was a little too sudden for my tastes, but solid overall. It
wasn't sudden. I mean, they sold it really good. I am going to punish the man who I feel has embarrassed me or whatever. And he got super greedy, and he took way too much time, and then Gulak fucking submitted the shit out of him. It was fine.
I wasn't feeling it, but I'm also not angry about it. But yeah, Kalisto ended up winning, and it's not even really a hate on Kalisto. I do find him overrated and so on, and don't really understand why he's the most pushed of the Lucha House Party, for example, when I believe he's the least talented.
I mean, it's between Kalisto and Cedric Alexander, who's the biggest black hole of charisma.
Well, the problem is unless you're going to go full heel with Alexander, you've just set up a double face match, which I'm not really a fan of. That being said, I look at the heels in this match, and I'm not really sure who I would have booked to win it, because we've seen a lot of Alexander versus Gulak, which I guess would leave TJP, but you obviously can't have TJP go coast to coast, so I would have brought him. So I probably would have put TJP over if you're like, this is the people you have. Who's going over to face Cedric? I would have put TJP over.
Yeah. No, I would have just had Gulak go over the whole time.
I've not been wowed by Alexander versus Gulak matches, though. So I don't really want to walk into seeing that for the 7th time in the last 3 months.
Well, I mean, point to somebody else he hasn't had 17 matches with in the last year.
Yeah, I can't recall him facing TJP.
To be honest, neither can I. But I don't know, maybe that would have been the best match. I don't know, but I think they put so much time and effort into Gulak, or to be honest, Gulak has put so much time and effort into himself. They owe him the most. He is the best heel they have. Absolutely.
I don't disagree with that in any way. I would push Gulak more than TJP, for example. I just think that right now we've seen a lot of Gulak Alexander, and we've seen Alexander beat him every time. So I would just I needed a break from Gulak versus Alexander. That's just all I'm saying.
I guess I honestly can't remember. Maybe their matches are so average that I literally can't remember them. But I don't remember the last time.
Well, they met up in the tournament. Then they met up again. And again, and he was the surrogate for Enzo in 3 different matches against Alexander as well.
No, I just don't remember.
It's been a lot.
Yeah, you're probably right then, because I do not remember those matches.
And they were they weren't bad. They weren't god awful or anything, but they weren't particularly amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't have gone that route just because of that. I thought the booking here was largely fairly solid. There was a couple of dumb face moments, which I'm not a huge fan of, and never will be. But, yeah. Anyways, that led to Kalisto getting a title shot. And I watched the match, and it was okay.
Yeah.
So then we have NXT, and we open up with the Undisputed Era doing typical heel stuff. Talking about basically Roderick Strong justifying his backstabbing of Pete Dunne by.
I like the fact that you've totally glossed over the dance for Ugly Lucian.
That was pretty good too. I also enjoyed the pimp walk of Kyle O'Reilly on the way to the ring. Jesus Christ.
That's what I'm saying.
That was a strut.
Yeah. That guy had all the dance moves. And Roddy's backing him the whole time. Like, do it, play it, do it.
Yeah. So this was that. Yeah, this was great. And
I enjoyed I enjoyed the part in the Roddy Strong promo who's like, I can't remember exactly what the line was. Something about I don't need to pat myself on the back. That's what you guys are for. And they literally all just like started patting him on the back. Yep. Fantastic.
This was all good. He told them to go to the back, that he can handle Oney Lorcan on his own. And then Oney Lorcan came out for his title shot.
Oney rules. I have 3 notes for this. Oney rules, Oney still rules, and Birch also rules.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match. Hard-hitting, Oney Lorcan style. Adam Cole doing his thing as well. At one point, it looked like Lorcan had him beat, but then Roddy came out and Kyle O'Reilly came out. Kyle O'Reilly brought a medic out to kind of, say that Adam Cole, he put up the X and everything. Like, we got to stop the match. Well, in the meantime, Roddy dragged Lorcan to the outside and handled him, neutralized him. And then it's like, he's okay! Adam Cole's fine to continue the match. And Cole hit a last shot to the back of Lorcan's head and picked up the 3, and they did a little post-match beatdown. Danny Burch tried to make the save, but 3-on-2 is not good math.
Correct.
And then we went to a Heavy Machinery versus Moss and Sabatelli match. I think you're going to be more interesting here, so take it away.
It was just kind of like, it was a good Heavy Machinery match. There's not much else I can really say that you won't already. If you don't know what a good Heavy Machinery match is, tune in and find out. And the fuck boys, Tito and Sabatino, or whatever the fuck. I'm going to say that maybe at this point they've made a definitive statement in this whatever it is that they're doing. Like, they've broken up twice before this, only to come out exactly very next week to do it again as a tag team. And this time, Tito jumped off the ring apron, left Sabatino hanging.
Moss.
Whatever. And so, yeah, then Moss ate the pin with the compactor. And, so, I mean, it was fun. It was good. You get to watch the dickhead jocks lose, and maybe they'll cram each other into their Maserati and drive away and come back next week. I don't know. But hopefully we'll have some sort of feud out of this, and maybe we'll get to see some cool stuff. Yeah. And maybe they'll get to have personalities. I don't know.
This has been the most bizarre storyline, I think, in NXT history, with the whole not really being given a reason why they're back together. Like, the first time I was okay because it's like, hey, you get a shot in the Dusty Cup. Okay, that's worth, letting bygones be bygones. But then they were a team again, and now again. It's been a mess. And, so hopefully we'll get something out of this. Riddick appears to be going face, Sabatelli being the heel. That seems like the natural alignment.
Does seem that way.
Let it roll.
Since the crowd already hates Tito.
Yeah. Then we had a Dakota Kai interview, and
I skipped the majority of this. This was just stupid and awkward and garbage.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really feeling the whole Dakota Kai literally pissing herself, terrorized every time Baszler comes around her.
Yeah, also, does she have like way too much bronzer on, or like?
Yeah, she did.
Am I being vaguely racist right now?
It's not racist. She's New Zealander. She's white.
Yeah. Well, is she like? So I was confused because if she's like an ethnic New Zealander, I guess I
don't think she is. She seems white. Any other time I've seen her, like I legitimately, when they put her out there for the interview, I was like, who is that? And then when she started speaking, I'm like, oh, it's Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
Why is she so dark?
Well, I mean, they're based out of Florida. There's a lot of sun going on there. You can get a tan, but she seemed like weirdly way too coppery bronze.
Yeah.
And that's really the only thing I gotta say about this whole promo. Is like, I don't want to be racist and say the brown chick was way too weirdly brown, but I don't think she is ethnically brown, if that makes sense.
I don't think she is. I believe she's Caucasian.
Yeah, so I was a little That was the only thing that kept me watching this promo for longer than like 20 seconds. And she started really pissing herself, and yeah.
I mean, credit where it is due. Like, Shayna did a good job with what they gave her, but I feel like they're trying to replicate Bayley with Dakota Kai, but they're missing the mark on what made Bayley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, they missed Bayley on what made Bayley, so fuck.
Yeah. Well, this is the NXT guys who actually did Bayley properly.
Correct. I mean, maybe they're trying. Maybe they're trying to put her in so much peril that when she finally stands, like maybe it's a Virgil moment when Virgil finally stood up for himself.
That didn't really work for Virgil.
Not long term, but
didn't even work short term.
Yeah, I would entirely disagree.
Ugh, maybe I'm just too young.
Dude, that was the biggest pop of the 80s or 90s.
No, like the pop itself, the literal immediate term, it worked. But it died a death like a week later.
It worked. It worked for a couple of months. And then after that, yeah, you're not wrong. But for the short term, what it was worked fantastic. It's Vince's fault that it fucking failed. Again, you could have had the biggest African-American superstar of all time. You could have had that. And he threw it away and stomped it into the ground and set it on fire and walked off. Which is probably what's going to happen with Dakota Kai when she hits Maine. Even though Dakota Kai, depending on how Triple H works it, Dakota Kai may be the second coming of Bayley, a.k.a. the female John Cena. And then Vince will throw it away because it's too much money to be made there.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt that she can really even be the next Bayley. And this goes back to my just general theory that you need to stop trying to make the next insert name. Because I've always thought that when you think about it, the next guy in the WWE or pro wrestling in general has always been very different from the prior guy. And that's kind of like, when they were trying to make Roman Reigns into the new John Cena, it's like, no, you need Roman Reigns. You don't need the new John Cena. Anyways, we had a Kona Reeves package. Same stuff as last time, basically.
Fantastic.
We had a big women's division promo, kind of trying to put everyone over, I guess. And this is a thin-ass division. Holy crap.
It's the same every year.
This is probably the thinnest it's ever been, I think.
That's what you said last year.
No, last year... Well, last year was the thinnest it's ever been. But my point is
and
that...
that's what you said the year before that, too.
No. The year before that, actually, the division was thicker than it had been the prior year.
After they gutted literally everybody and took it to Maine?
Well, at some point it got thicker. When you had the Four Horsemen women come in, you did have something thicker for a while, and then you had the Asuka boost as well.
Yeah, but by the time Asuka was like, I want to say almost a full year after the Four Horsemen had been on Maine.
Mm-hmm. No, well, not Bayley.
So there was literally nobody. There was nobody.
No, there was Bayley still there.
They gutted. Oh yeah, great. That was her last. Asuka's first appearance was Bayley's last appearance.
Was it? I think there was one after that.
Maybe one, but probably not. I don't remember there being more than one.
But my point is, they really have no one. Like this is the thinnest it's ever been. And yeah, sure, maybe this will be the cycle. It gets thinner and thinner and thinner. And that's fucking depressing. But right now, the division is Shayna Baszler and Nikki Cross. Yep. That is it.
And Nikki Cross should have been on Maine a year ago. So that Vince could totally bury her and make her into like some sort of weird pajama-wearing softy.
Probably. Actually, I could see her ending up like Katie Lee Burchill. That's my call. That's what Vince does.
Having sex with brothers?
Yes. We don't mean black men. So then we had our main event, which was slated to be Johnny Gargano challenging Aleister Black for the title. But Tommaso Ciampa comes out to strike at Gargano and eventually puts him through a table with an air raid crash. And cart him out. on the stretcher, the backboard, get rid of him, and then Aleister Black came out, grabbed a microphone, and looked like he was going to say something. Then Sanity came out. EY cut a promo about Gargano is hope, but Chaos took it away. Through Chaos comes Sanity. And then Black just holds the belt up and goes, "Is this what you're looking for?" And we have ourselves a main event.
Yeah, I don't like the set of circumstances. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about Gargano and Ciampa. I'm talking about Sanity is on main already.
Yes.
So this is just to lose for losing's sake.
Yes.
I hate that.
I do hate that, and that's I've said it repetitively. I have always thought that you should go to the main roster on a win. Frankly,
I lost track of thought.
Especially if you're not a title holder when you go to main. This match is for a title, so obviously they have to lose. But I mean, leading up into this, they didn't have any titles. They didn't need to lose to go to main.
No,
they'd go to win.
Yeah. God damn it! I had a really good point, and it's completely gone from my head, and I don't remember what it was. Fuck, this is bothersome.
The match was good. EY worked a good match with Aleister Black.
That's what it was. I don't remember the match at all. I knew that EY was going to lose. I knew that everybody was going to, it doesn't matter. You could have 93 members of Sanity jumping Aleister Black 24/7, 365 for the last 93 years, and he'd still win this match because Sanity's going to main, and Sanity's there to lose. So, yeah, no, I barely paid any attention at all to this match whatsoever until, it was I can see the black mask coming. There it is. And another. I mean, it was good. The ending was good, but the match itself, I didn't pay attention.
It lacked any real stakes. Because you know exactly who's going to win. Even more so than usual. It's not even booking makes sense that this person's going to win. No, it's these guys are on main. They're not winning the NXT title.
Yeah.
So,
at this point, they're not winning any titles.
Yeah. Oh, they'll probably win no titles from this point onwards.
Yeah. Time to go to main, where you get jobbed out to name insert. You're going to get jobbed out to the guy who's not Mr. Perfect's kid, the other one.
Bo Dallas?
No, the other one.
Curtis Axel?
Is that Mr. Perfect's kid?
Mr. Perfect's kid, yeah.
No, the other one that's not that one.
The other Heath Slater?
One. The other Kurt thingy.
Oh, Kurt Hawkins.
There you go, that guy. You're going to be Kurt Hawkins' job guy.
Probably. No, probably not that bad, but bad.
I swear to God, that's probably what Vince wanted to do with Samoa Joe, is just make him Kurt Hawkins' job guy.
No, Vince doesn't like Kurt Hawkins. And the reason he doesn't like Kurt Hawkins is pretty dumb. Because apparently Kurt Hawkins argued in favor of Zack Ryder getting a push back in the day, and that's why Vince doesn't like him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk about the Greatest Royal Rumble. I have heard some people saying that this is the worst pay-per-view ever, and I can't really co-sign on that.
Yeah, I don't see that as a thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that could be a thing.
No, I mean, I thought the matches were good, fun stuff for the most part.
I didn't watch any of them, but yeah.
Nah, I've watched a couple of them. And, yeah, I mean, Jinder Mahal and Jeff Hardy was even actually pretty passable. So, congratulations, Jeff Hardy. You dragged a decent match out of Jinder Mahal. Round of applause, please. Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, the opener, John Cena, Triple H, don't watch that. That was really no good. Alexander Kalisto, that was fine. Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy versus The Bar was pretty good. Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal was as good as Jinder Mahal match is getting. Bludgeon Brothers versus Usos was... I could have done without that. The ladder match was pretty decent, actually. Styles versus Nakamura was well worked for what it was going to be.
Wait, there was a ladder match?
Yeah. For the IC title.
When was that ever a ladder match?
That was a ladder match like the whole time, boss.
What? Okay, did they just not tell anybody?
I knew it was a ladder match.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay, so they failed to promote that at all. Because I think I've watched more Raw or whatever the fuck show they're on than you, and
Probably.
Jesus, I had no idea. Can you guys do a little bit better about maybe mentioning, like, you said the word beautiful for the Jedi City about 93 million times in the last 8 days. Can we say ladder match 4 times, maybe 5?
I don't know what to tell you. I was aware.
Fuck knows, man. They're so bad at promoting anything. For all I know, all of these were ladder matches.
And Rusev got literally buried by The Undertaker, put in a casket.
Bury me softly.
Bury me softly, brother. And then we had the Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns cage match, which I just watched the ending of. I didn't watch the rest of the match because I wasn't interested.
Yeah, I basically skipped through it until I saw how the ending worked, and
so Roman speared him out of the cage, and Brock was declared the winner, despite the fact that actually Roman touched the ground first. But
and Cole actually made a good point, where the stipulation of the match is that both feet have to touch the ground first, which Roman Reigns' feet did, because Brock Lesnar was laying flat on his back on a section of chain link fence, and his feet did not touch the ground first. So Roman Reigns wins.
Yep. Which they'll probably work in there, and that's fine.
Yeah, they'll draw this out to like Survivor Series 3 years from now or some shit.
Then we had the 50-man Rumble, which I dragged on a little bit being a 50-man Rumble, but I was pretty happy with this. There was an oddly large number of botches.
Wow.
It was weird.
So many. This is going to be I think Botchamania is going to do like a 5-part series on the 50-man Rumble alone.
Indeed. So we'll just go through it elimination by elimination, and we'll add anything cool about the person that we want to add. First man out was Sin Cara. He was eliminated by Dolph Ziggler. Then we had the Mark Henry spree, eliminating Kurt Axel, Mike Kanellis, and the sumo dude, Hiroki Sumi, before he was eliminated by Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan.
Poor Swedish bastard.
Victor came out, lasted less than a minute, got eliminated by Daniel Bryan. Dash Wilder got eliminated by Daniel Bryan and Hornswoggle. Tony Nese eliminated Hornswoggle. Then himself was eliminated by Kofi and Xavier Woods. And here we have one where I'm going to finally delve into, because this was great. Tony Nese did a dancing man bit with the New Day.
And that was fantastic.
He's getting into it so much, and they just pick him up, and he's like, yeah, no, stop you!
No!
So that was good. That was fun. Kurt Angle dumped out Bo Dallas, Primo Cologne, and then Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler did good work in this match. Was in there for 21 minutes, did a good job.
You boy.
Connor got eliminated by Elias Simpson, and then Elias eliminated both members of the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. And then he eliminated Kurt Angle, so Elias getting the big push on this one a little bit.
I was almost right. The New Day almost got completely eliminated simultaneously. Not quite, though.
Kofi's spot this time around was to be on Xavier's back on the apron, and then they climbed the top rope, and Kofi did some kind of splash. I don't remember what it was. Some kind of splash off of Xavier's back. And that was pretty cool. I think at this point, the Kofi saves himself is really, really worn out its welcome to a degree. I think we've done everything really cool we can.
Yeah, and he's getting old.
And then we had Tucker Knight got an elimination of Drew Gulak. Tucker Knight was awesome in this, by the way.
Yeah, Tucky was good. I enjoyed the shit out of Tucky. Second favorite to Roderick Strong.
No Notice Dozovich, though, which is disappointing.
Well, I mean, he's very white, so I don't know if he's allowed to be in that kind of country, sir.
Bobby Roode got going at this point, eliminated Goldust and Scott Dawson. Rey Mysterio eliminated Luke Gallows. Mojo Rawley eliminated Fandango. Tyler Breeze came in when Fandango got eliminated. He got pushed out by Mojo Rawley. Fandango saved him and then put him back in. And then he just got eliminated again. So Tyler Breeze lasted a total of 16 seconds. Combined total, actually, for the Fashion Police was 3 minutes and 58 seconds.
Correct.
And then Tucker Knight got eliminated by Big E. They gave Tucker Knight 10 minutes. So, yay. He got longer than Chad Gable, which is a bit disappointing.
Yeah, we got longer than a lot of people.
Because next guy to get eliminated was Chad Gable by Apollo Crews. Rhino got eliminated by Roddy Strong. Rhino got 16 minutes, 22 seconds. That's longer than I would have guessed he would get.
Well, he does have large thighs.
He does.
Hard lift that boy.
And then the next man out was Carl Anderson. He was eliminated in basically 4.5 minutes by Randy Orton. Randy Orton then eliminated Mojo Rawley, Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin sent out Bobby Roode, and then Baron Corbin eliminated Roderick Strong. You want to add anything to Roderick Strong's 4-minute stay in the match?
All the backbreakers.
All the backbreakers, yes. All the backbreakers. The next guy to get eliminated was Babatunde by Braun Strowman.
Oh, Babatunde.
I'm intrigued by Babatunde.
Polish.
He's Polish?
That's what the way the internet says.
Huh.
A Polish professional wrestler, former American football player, currently signed to WWE, where he is performing developmental territory in NXT. He previously played for a number of teams in the Polish American Football League.
This is very weird. You got the first that there's a Polish American Football League, 2 that this guy's Polish, 3 that this guy had like an Indonesian and a Nigerian flag on his stuff.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. Although was
freaking weird.
Was one of those potentially Polish and not Southeast Asian?
Maybe. I'll look at the flags after we go through this, and I'll confirm whether they look alike.
Yeah. He apparently has never, ever been on TV, ever. They just decided to throw him in the Rumble for reasons unexplained.
You know what? He did pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, no, totally. He did way better than I thought he was going to. It's like, who's the large fellow?
I guess it could be the Polish flag. It's the Indonesian flag and Polish flags are just inverse of each other.
There you go. Apparently he is 6'9", not 6'10", and about 350 pounds ish.
I'm fairly hyped about him, to be honest. I think there could be something there.
He played for the Crew Raw Claw, Giants Raw Claw, Dresden Monarchs, Warsaw Eagles, and was at the preseason stint with the Minnesota Vikings in 2015.
Typical WWE football player. Got on a practice roster or got cut during spring training.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then, speaking of guys I'm not high on, Dan Matha was the next one to get eliminated.
Dan Math.
Let's not bring up Dan Math, please. Then it was Big E, got eliminated by Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman eliminated Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil, and we have to talk about Titus O'Neil.
Oh man,
we really do.
Listen, I don't care what you say. He came in safe. That umpire was wrong.
So, if you've not seen it, and you've been living under a rock if you haven't seen it, Titus comes running out at number 39. He trips, falls, and goes right under the ring.
Safe. Totally safe.
Great. Totally safe. Just avoided a massive concussion.
Jeebus Creebus. I maintain that is a rib. That had to have been a rib. That had to be popping the boys in the back. There's no way that's a legitimate thing that a pro wrestler can do. The amount of times they replayed that has to be a rib.
I have seen him fall like that in NXT back when it was a reality show. So, if it was anyone else, I would be on board with it being a rib. But, I don't know.
That's also true.
Next man out was Ty Dillinger, who got a whopping 29 seconds in the match.
Lame.
Rey Mysterio was eliminated by Baron Corbin. Nice to see Rey Mysterio out there. Was moving pretty well for a guy who is, up until this point, I was pretty sure was still being, listed as injured on most websites.
He is fucking injured. Do you see the wrap on his arm?
Oh yeah, that's a wrap. But he used the arm for some stuff. He even did a break fall on it, so it can't be that bad. Or he's just psychotic. Randy Orton eliminated Baron Corbin. Elias eliminated Randy Orton. Braun Strowman eliminated Kurt Hawkins after Kurt Hawkins tried to run away from him. That was pretty good. Bobby Lashley eliminated Elias, and then Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman teamed up to eliminate the Great Khali, who cannot move. I don't really know why he was in this.
He was there for, I don't know how much they paid him to do 31 seconds in the ring, but okay.
Shelton Benjamin was the next man eliminated by Chris Jericho. Shane McMahon went out against Braun Strowman at this point becomes the eliminator of almost everybody. He eliminates, as stated, Shane McMahon, Bobby Lashley, Chris Jericho, and Kevin Owens. And we get down to the final three with him and Big Cass and Daniel Bryan. Big Cass eliminates Daniel Bryan. You didn't like this. I am mixed on it in the sense that I would probably have had Daniel Bryan get eliminated by whoever he's feuding with, which is Big Cass. But my problem is more that, why is he feuding with Big Cass?
That's correct.
Also, it probably had hit me before this time, but I was watching Big Cass move in this match makes me very worried about his long-term career.
That is correct.
He has no flexibility in his knees, and I think that's a recipe for a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Basically, NBA center injury style with the legs just like Greg Oden style. That's where we're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, will not be walking by the age of, 52.
Will only be walking by the age of 45.
Yeah, so I want to say this. I rather like Big Cass. I think he's an okay big man. I think there's some potential there, but
he's got a lot of charisma. He's got he needs to be in better shape for long-term health reasons, and that dude needs to start doing yoga or something.
Yeah,
like something, dude.
But it's like watching him walk through a match and then saying, we're going to put Daniel Bryan with this guy for his not his big return feud, because you have the Mania match and everything, but like his first like kind of long-term feud. Complete waste when you consider what's on SmackDown.
Yeah. I was perfectly fine with Braun Strowman winning the match. On a real physical, reality-based kind of project. Who the fuck's gonna stop him? Literally who?
Yeah.
It's fine. He won the... I saw a couple of people talking shit. Who you gonna step up and fucking stop Braun Strowman from not throwing people over the top rope?
No, he is exactly the person who I would have had win this match. I know a lot of people will say Daniel Bryan. I'm like, no. I would have had Daniel, like I would have done exactly what they did with Daniel Bryan. Maybe not a full hour and 16 minutes because I'm a little worried about how well his body's going to hold up. I know medically cleared and etc.
Get in the pool at some point, man.
Yeah, but an hour and 16 minutes, record-setting Iron Man trip in the greatest Rumble with probably a little too deep.
I think if you don't get him in the pool deep enough, quick enough, he's going to get really hurt, really fucking bad, really fucking quick. He needs to get in there. He needs to reacclimatize his body to doing what pro wrestling is.
Oh, I agree 100%.
He needs to do that right away.
I would have had him have a long run in this match. Don't get me wrong, like a long run. Like I'm talking probably 45 to 50 minutes in this match would have been my booking. But having him start the match at number 1 and go this long, I don't know. I'm a little worried about it. But he seems fine, so no harm, no foul. Although his chest, holy shit.
Dude, Jesus. Not since Morishima.
Yeah, well... no, I can't even think of another example more recent.
Jeebus Creebus. I don't know how far into the match it went, but I noticed it after a while, because he spent some time outside the ring as he fucking earned. Mm-hmm. But when he came back in, Oh man, like oh god, you gotta. That's kind of the reason why I thought he should have won. Was that's a big part of it. I
No,
think that
I wouldn't have
that
been
guy
angry with
put
him
that
winning.
guy put
Obviously,
everything on the line, and he deserved for somebody to make a call down to ringside and like go, listen, we're changing the finish. That was
I
the
wouldn't
moment
have
you could
argued with it.
made. That was the moment you could have gone from like uncrowned king of wrestling to god of wrestling overnight and just done it.
Yeah, no, I could see that, but I like the Strowman win. Honestly don't understand why people are mad
Yeah.
about it.
No, there's no reason to think that anybody who you think Baron Corbin is going to stop Strowman on a realistic level. No.
Also, largely had a lot of fun with the commentary team of Cole, Saxton, and Graves actually on this one. So
they were fucking killing themselves the
I know.
entire match. It was great.
Tip of the hat actually to the commentary team. It was good.
Fantastic. I can't say enough good things about they with somebody who was it Cole called Saxton a goof, and then within 5 seconds, I think it was Graves was calling Cole some kind of savage.
Yes,
I can't remember the sequence there, but it was oh god, that was funny. Like the entire time the commentary booth, I maintained that probably Vince was having some sort of meat coma and just wasn't paying attention, and the commentator booth went off the chain. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew that they had talent on hand, right?
I've always said they have talent. They just micromanage to fucking hell.
Yeah.
So let's get on to the Lucha Underground versus Impact. Do you have anything from Raw or SmackDown you want to bring up actually before we get to that?
Let me have a look here. I enjoyed the Deleter of Worlds versus the Ascension match because it was a real tag team match. It's as if wrestling was a thing. Oh my god, what the hell? And then I enjoyed the Ziggler McIntyre versus Titus Worldwide match because again, you got to see tag team wrestling. Holy shit! Oh my god, it's like wrestling was a thing again. Why I don't understand. And then the rest was very boring. And on SmackDown, skipped it. Main event was okay. It was alright. It was fine. And that was Raw and SmackDown. That's 19 hours of your weekly programming boiled down to like 45 seconds.
All right, Lucha versus Impact. So we opened up with a 6-man match. Chavo Guerrero versus a now bald Jack Evans versus Matanza Cueto versus Caleb Conley versus Moose versus Matt Sydal. This was fun. Kind of your typical clusterfuck multi-man match. You know, cool stuff.
Apparently Moose is the worst wrestler in the world, and Chavo Guerrero is literally unrecognizable once he takes off his poncho.
Yeah, there was a bit where Byron could not figure out who, like, he's going, who's the guy in the rainbow trunks? And I'm like, you can't be talking about Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah, he's like, Matt Sydal? No, I know what Matt Sydal and Jack Evans. No, I know who the guy with the singlet. That guy right there on screen. That's Chavo. That's not Chavo. Wait, is that Chavo?
Yeah.
It's like, what? Why are you wearing a singlet all of a sudden? And why do you not look like Chavo Guerrero?
But yeah, the LVP of the match was definitely Moose. Him and Matanza did some big man stuff, and it was soft as all hell. And I don't really have an explanation for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who delivered a lot, actually. He did a lot of good stuff in this match. Ate the pin. He was in there to eat the pin with Matanza, but impressive run by Conley.
That boy put in work.
Chavo got on the mic and basically put over the new season of Lucha Underground that's coming out. That was June 22nd, right?
I want to say 23rd. Let me look at a calendar.
And then after that,
I think it was 13th.
June 13th. Okay, I'm way off. It's late. Give me a break. Uh,
Yeah.
Taya Valkyrie challenged Ali for the Impact Women's title, which
Oh boy.
Ali retained with a code breaker. Gush all over Taya, please. Go ahead.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm a little torn here because Taya Valkyrie was amazingly hot as Super Fit Chick 5000. She's gained, I want to say 50 pounds.
I don't think it's that much.
I don't like. I'm trying to edge on the side of like I don't even know. Maybe I don't think it's 30. Maybe 40.
I'd say about 30.
I would go higher.
I think part of it is that we're used to seeing her compared with men all the time on Lucha Underground.
No,
makes her seem a little smaller than she actually was.
No. Dude, there was not a spare inch on her entire body while watching Lucha Underground. She's got, and I'm not mad, and I'm not trying to fat shame anybody. She is super fine still, but she's super fine in a completely different way now. She is very curvaceous, and I would say that there are no abs left because she's wearing a very concealing uniform now.
Yeah, the abs are gone. I would confirm on that.
I don't know if she got injured and couldn't train, totally understandable. If she I actually asked while we're watching, like, is she pregnant? Did she get pregnant? Has she been pregnant? Like, that's, again, totally understandable. But I don't know where all the weight came from. I'm not mad at it because she was super duper fine before with that ass, and she's super duper uber fine now with that ass. I mean, I'm not mad at all. I literally thought she was Lana though when she came out because Lana's got a bit of a different face structure than what I'm used to seeing on Taya. But when Taya came out for this match, I literally thought it was Lana. That she looked very extremely similar in the face area, and she had a larger costume on with a cape and a crown. So I didn't know until they announced her name. I didn't know who that was. Literally didn't recognize her as Taya Valkyrie. And the match itself was very good in regards to I'm not totally sold on Allie, aka Cherry Bomb. But then again, it could be because Taya Valkyrie was out of shape and couldn't do the things that I'm used to seeing her do all the time, especially against dudes. If she can do stuff against dudes, then I assume that her versus other females would be the same or better. And I didn't quite see that. So I don't know if it was a combination of her being out of shape or Cherry Bomb Alley not being quite up to snuff or what the deal was.
I think Cherry Bomb Alley is up to snuff. I do believe, however, she has to work in the Alley character, which is the female Eugene in a lot of ways. And I think that does take away from match quality from like a technical standpoint, but does perhaps add more to the storyline of the match as well. So,
yeah,
a bit of a double-edged sword. A little bit good, a little bit bad. Anyways, Ali retained, which of course sets up Taya Valkyrie to do the demon dance with Rosemary.
I'm good with that.
Which was a good match. If you've not seen, go watch.
I have not.
OVE took on Teddy Hart and Scott Steiner, and this whole match, I'm like, these four guys are fucking on drugs.
This was a mess. So I was very let down by I thought the opening match was a 6-man tag because you had 3 dudes from one promotion and 3 dudes from another, and they all started going schmozzling at it. It was probably like 5 minutes in before I'm like, what's going on here? This is a lot of schmoz. And then the female match, I was very confused just watching Taya do Taya things, which didn't look quite like Taya. And then this match happened, and I'm further confused and very let down because, A, it's Teddy Hart. I know Teddy Hart's a piece of human trash. Scott Steiner, pretty much also a piece of human trash. The Christ brothers have never really sold me on the fact that they're really professional wrestlers. They seem like they show up to work in between fucking crack binges or something. And that's pretty much how this entire match was. The Chris brothers actually did a good amount of actual tag team stuff, but it seemed like they were really just sort of dazed and not quite understanding that they just knew how to tag stuff. Like, we're going to tag and we're going to tag again, we're going to tag some more, and we're going to tag and tag. And eventually large Father Pumpington is going to come in and pull 2 moves and win.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a Steiner recliner, which he cannot recline anymore.
No, that guy cannot bend anything south of the shoulders any longer.
Yeah. The highlight of the match, and by highlight I mean low light, was Teddy Hart did a lot of individually very good spots. He is Teddy Hart. This is what he does. But he did one that fucking terrified me, where he basically he took up, I don't remember which Chris brother it was, actually. But I think it was the blonde one.
It was the one with the hair.
Yeah, well, they both have hair.
That's the joke.
I think it was the blonde one. He took him up, and he did kind of a powerbomb type deal, almost like the Widow's Peak that Victoria used to do.
Oh, yeah.
And, the Chris brother came right down on his head. On Teddy's head. And I'm that is so fucking dangerous for no reason. Well, I think it was the third, but yeah, it was early. It was during the Teddy Hart Spot Fest at the beginning.
Because he basically did a quinceptuple twisting plancha before the bell rang, and then he immediately did the powerbomb knee spot, which is, whose finisher is that? I can't remember.
There's a couple of guys who used that as their finisher.
Fair enough.
I think it was the 4 spot. He also did his kind of his DDT deal, where he kind of has the guy on him in if on a front, he's basically mounted while standing, and he does a DDT. That was his third move.
I think that was later in the match.
That might have been later. But either way,
it was a giant sludge of ridiculous bullshit and not goodness.
Yeah.
And then Teddy Hart trying to do flashy shit that will probably cripple him for life.
I'm stunned it hasn't crippled him already.
We could probably make that happen.
Who thought this was a good idea? Fuck.
I don't know. Who booked Steiner and Teddy Hart for anything? And what was the announcer? Was like, what does this team lack? I'm like, you and I are mental stability?
Mental stability, focus, a sense of loyalty to the company.
Any kind of thing that isn't based on hardcore narcotics.
Or cats.
Or cats.
A sense of reality?
Yeah. Which led us on to an actual 6-person tag, which I thought the opening match was going to be. Which was Aerostar, Drago, not Daga, and King Square Nose against somebody named Andrew something.
Andrew Everett, Desmond Xavier, and DJ Z or DJ Z, depending on where you're from.
DJ Z. So high fucking MVP of this match was Aerostar, for fuck's sake. What the fuck? Where the fuck was this Aerostar, for fuck's sake? What the fuck?
Aerostar was really good here, actually. I thought all 6 guys did a fucking great job.
Yeah, there's some guy, I don't think Cuerno was really all that up on stuff, and I don't remember anything Drago did. I remember Desmond Xavier just kind of being in the way a lot. Andrew Everett didn't do anything I can remember either, and then DJ Z got a lot of crowd pops.
I was higher on the performances of every individual. Except for Drago, you're right, actually. Now that I think about it, I can remember one dive Drago did, and that was about it.
I think that was in the opening of the match, too.
No, it was during the big dive sequence in the middle. He did the dive before Aerostar did his second rope over the top. It wasn't really much, but it was kind of impressive because he did it off the second rope. It was really, really cool. While Drago held the other team. It was a good spot. There were a lot of good spots in this match. It was well done. Aerostar gets a big 2 thumbs up. Never thought I'd say that. Never.
No, never.
We've historically on our Lucha Underground breakdowns been very not on the Aerostar bandwagon, but he made me interested in seeing him again.
Yeah, he did a lot of really cool, intricate shit. It is, if that's how he wrestles, what the fuck was he doing before? Or maybe he's just kind of come into his own in the last 2 years since they stopped filming. I don't know. But if this is what's going on now, push that motherfucker.
It was a bit of a weird tag team having Cuerno there after he had like that blood feud with Drago. So,
Yeah.
bit odd. But hey, it's a standalone show. I'm okay with it. We had Trevor Lee versus Famous B, which was a match that was advertised earlier on, and Famous B came out. He says, I knew you'd bring Caleb Conley, so I brought my own back up. And my representative in this match will be Marty the Moth.
I do enjoy the Marshall the Moth Martinez very much so.
Spot of the match. Trevor Lee is doing the old smash the guy's head into the ring, into the turnbuckles, and Marty just goes, "That's not how you do it. This is how you do it." Starts smashing his own head.
That's classic Marty the Moth. I enjoy the shit out of that. A little disappointed there was no interaction with Melissa Santos, who I observed frequently during the entirety of the broadcast.
Yep.
Very intently.
Yep. He was very distracted between every match.
Them boots on and everything and the stuff. Oh, and the cameraman did myself a few favors. Let's put shout out to cameraman.
Also going to throw out a really... Trevor Lee got a real high impact, high angle power bomb on Marty the Moth, which was pretty impressive with the size differential.
Yeah, that was good. Me like you.
It was a good match overall, and at the end, Marty the Moth goes to the top rope. Caleb Conley distracts him, gets dealt with by Famous B, but it buys Trevor Lee enough time to recover. Moth crashes and burns. Lee rolls him up. Boom, Trevor Lee, your winner. That was the first win that Impact had against Lucha Underground in the Lucha Underground versus Impact matches. Unless you count Taya losing to Ali.
I count everything.
Then we had LAX versus The Mac and Killshot. And this was a really, really good tag team match. Go fucking watch it. Holy fuck, it was good. I had literally one problem. So Mac gets Santana up for a power bomb, and Killshot adds a kill stomp to it, and Santana kicked out at 2.
Yeah, Ortiz was supposed to make the save. He did flop into the ring, but did not put forth effort to break up a pin. So I don't know what the hell the deal is with that. I think that was more of a botch on Ortiz's part than Santana or anything. I think Santana recognized that Ortiz was not going to get there and had to do something.
Yeah, definitely. If that was not planned, then yeah, obviously, I'm willing to waive it. Shit happens in a match. I'm fine. But I mean that was the New Japan. Man, how the hell do you actually top that spot? Basically.
Pretty much, yeah. There was no getting there. You and I go back and forth about New Japan all the time, and you have issues with what you think should be the finish. But very rarely, sometimes you're right, but I think very rarely does New Japan take a step back. Like you go, oh fuck, that should have been the finish, and then like 2 minutes later they do something that's even more extravagant that is the finish. In this case, there was no further climax to the match. Should have been the thing.
The problem is that LAX gets the win by basically doing the same move, only instead of a kill stomp, it's a blockbuster.
Yep.
So yeah, not great there. So LAX retains their titles. Expected. Mac and Killshot were never going to win the match. And we move on to Eli Drake versus Brian Cage. And we got a lot of mic time for Eli Drake leading into this. He points out that he was a tag team with Brian Cage called Natural Selection, and that he knows everything Cage does, and Cage knows almost everything he does, and then we get into the match.
Correct.
Matt Stryker actually made your point about the Kinesio tape.
Yeah, I don't understand what the deal is. It seems that every single wrestler these days is wearing Kinesio tape, which, if we're going on a reality-based product, means you've displayed weakness to your opponent, which means you will lose 100% of the time. Why not put Kinesio tape on both sides? You got a shoulder problem? Put them on both shoulders. You got a knee problem? Both knees. You had, 3 joints that are a problem? You had 4 joints tamed up. Is everybody that damaged and that injured, and is there that much injury right now that literally everybody is injured 24/7, 365? Or what's the deal?
I think everyone has always been injured to a degree, 24/7, 365.
Fair enough. If that's the deal, then that's the deal. But I mean, this is pro wrestling. You can't be halfway real to just expose how orchestrated it is. You can't do that.
Yeah. I agree with you. I would Kinesio tape up like everything. Be like, oh, no, this is just part of my gimmick. But this was a really good match. Eli Drake actually showed off a lot of power in this match, which was very impressive. He got, like, Cage is a big motherfucker, and he got him up for a couple of different power moves. It was really nice stuff. Eli Drake, 2 thumbs up. You were one of my 3 stars on the night.
Yeah, I think Eli Drake really has some top heel potential. Him and Sami Cranahan. Between those 2 guys, I don't see is there a third top heel in Impact at all ever?
Well, I mean, you had El Patron, but he
doesn't count. He's fucking gone. Dumb shit.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, no, this was a really good match. Again, this and the tag match, fantastic work. Great jobs. This, of course, relating back to Eddie Edwards eating a baseball bat to the face from Sami Callihan. I was a little puzzled why he was Jeremiah Crane when he came out. And I know, like, everyone knows Sami Callihan, Jeremiah Crane, same guy, whatever. This is not even about a kayfabe being dead, but it seemed to kind of mix up the commentators half the time. It would have just been simpler, clean and cut to just do Sami Callihan versus Eddie Edwards instead of Jeremiah Crane versus Eddie Edwards, but playing into the Callahan storyline and bringing OVE into it and blah, 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 blah. So,
yeah,
that was my one nitpick.
It's Solomon, Sammy, Jeremiah, Crane, Crow, and Oak.
Oh, my other problem had nothing to do with Sami Callihan. It was Matt Stryker's commentary. Matt Stryker had been really, really good up until this point on commentary.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But he took kind of the heel delusional commentator role at this point kind of out of nowhere by trying to justify what Jeremiah Crane did with the baseball bat. And it doesn't really work because the storyline between Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan is not just that he hit him with a baseball bat, but that he stalked his wife, laid a trap for him, and has threatened to make t-shirts saying I will break Eddie Edwards' face, and that he would do it again. And realistically, that's a psycho heel, no remorse thing. They're even the heel commentator, and the thing is, Matt Stryker isn't even the heel commentator, but even the heel commentator really shouldn't be justifying this stuff. It's like when Kane would light people on fire. It didn't really work if Jerry Lawler would be like, well, I mean, they deserve to be lit on fire.
That is totally a thing that Jerry the King Lawler would do because he's a dumbass.
Yeah, well, it's not a good thing.
But it's at that point, you even the heel commentator has to pull back and go, oh, fuck, this is fucked. The heel commentator, by being scared about the events, sells it even more. You don't try and cover up or apologize or anything. You just go, oh,
maybe if the heel commentator is Vampiro, you can get away with it, but that's because it's Vampiro.
Yeah.
But yeah, that didn't work for me. The interaction between him and Josh Matthews at this point was not good. This was their worst match by far. My notes are basically Eddie Edwards loves chairs. He loves chairs. There were a lot of chairs in this.
There were some chairs.
OVE comes out to get involved, and this basically saves Jeremiah Crane, who's in a really, really bad spot at this point. He has the bat again. He uses the bat on the referee. Cyrus the Virus comes out to throw the towel in, but Crane is going to use the bat on Edwards anyways. Moose comes running out to save his buddy, and that's the resolution to the match. It was really good.
Good old Bruce.
If there was an option to watch this match again with no commentary, I would take it.
Yeah, I would say that's a definite option.
Because it literally would fix my 2 problems with the match. Then we had, well, this was supposed to be where Alberto El Patron was supposed to be, but he no-showed. We got a 3-way, Pentagon, Phoenix, and Austin Aries. And I was a little disappointed by Melissa Santos not big selling Phoenix's entrance.
That, yeah, I suppose that would be more indicative of things happening.
Or maybe it was just the lack of quality audio from the ring, maybe. Because the announcers all night were a little hard to hear.
Yeah, well, everything was. You could barely hear anything in the ring because they didn't have anything close to the house mics to pick up what they were saying. And the announcers were being filtered through a microphone worse than your racing mic, so that's actually not true. Your racing mic's way worse.
I was going to say, don't insult their mics. Even I will admit my racing mic is worse. We got a pretty good 3-way out of this. It was good. Considering that, in theory, this was a match put together in, like an hour?
Probably, or less.
And in the end, Pentagon pins Phoenix after both of them super kicked the crap out of Austin Aries' teeth. And
that was a thing.
Pentagon wins, and we know Pentagon went on to win the Impact title as well. Which that was of course the hilarity of them pimping out the Patron Aries match the whole night. Never happened before, first time ever, and it's like, yeah, it ain't happening.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because I asked you, I was like, what do you think the odds are that match happens and happens in the WWE later?
I don't think so. I don't see Aries ever going back to WWE.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We know Patron wants to. We know Vince loves Patron for some reason.
That is correct. Vince is all about that Mexican chipotle.
That Mexican nose.
Also true.
So that was the show. And we'll be back next week with more NXT, more 205 Live. Is Backlash next weekend?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so we'll have Backlash on that as well. So we'll still cover the WWE pay-per-views, but we've given up on Raw and SmackDown, as we have stated before.
Pretty much. I enjoy skimming through it. I enjoy watching Joe promos. There are some matches here and there that I will stop and watch, but if they bore me, I skip. And promos that I'm never watching the Gruesome Twosome do a promo. Jesus, are you kidding me? Why? What the fuck's wrong?
No.
I've seen, was it Luke Owen, say that he enjoys the fact that they're making the worst jokes and worst points possible because they're heels and they know that they're bad. That doesn't make them good.
Yeah.
This is very much a 2 wrongs don't make a right situation.
I am all for different flavors of wrestling for different people. Some people like chocolate, some people like vanilla, strawberry, whatever the case may be. But yeah, and I'm not getting it. And no one's really been able to explain to me what is good about them.
No, they're just. In as much as they're good enough heels that I just want literally every time they come down and speak more than 8 syllables into a microphone, I want somebody like Nia Jax to come down and hospitalize them.
No, I just want to skip. Not even interested in that part.
Yeah, well, that's the urge I get an 1/8 of a second before I skip. Fuck off, and then
I just go to the skip.
Yeah, but I mean, if that's if that is their purpose in life, great. But I have yet to see anybody book it correctly, even in NXT, where they actually got dealt with by anybody. In a real wrestling sense of the word, you'd play this up for 3 months against Ronda Rousey, and then Ronda Rousey would send them both to the fucking hospital for 6 months. And thus you would make Ronda Rousey, because everybody would love the fact that she just trashed the most annoying people on the planet. However, they won't book it like that because they're not smart enough.
Yup. Yeah, that's about it, really. I'm gonna go watch Fedor versus Frank Mir from the earlier tonight.
Fuck me.
And hope that I don't cry watching two guys I had a Meds fandom for put up a really bad fight.
I don't know if I want to watch that.
You do want to watch Gerald Harris fight, though.
I do.
Anyways, that was the Square Jerks podcast for this week. Get off Byron's lawn before he shoots you.
I don't have a gun yet.
Hey. If they
I
stay
got
on
a
the
gun.
if
I
they
got a pellet gun.
Yeah, you got a pellet gun, and if they stay on the lawn long enough, you'll have a gun.
You got a pellet gun, and if you stay on the lawn, you're gonna get 2 in the ass.
There you go. So we'll talk to you next week when we talk about Backlash, 205, NXT, plus anything else that catches our eye. That is all.
I demand front lash.